call this council meeting to order. Michelle, call roll, please.
Jerry Mutter.
Here.
Dan Schomer.
Present.
Doug Humphrey.
Present.
Dan Verbeck.
Present.
Jody Lee.
Present.
Karen Wilson.
Present.
Okay, I'll lead us everybody. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, consideration of the council meeting minutes of November 17th. We all got a copy of that? Is there any changes or additions to the minutes?
I make a motion to approve them.
Second that?
Second.
Motion's made and second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, consideration of the administrator's report. Steve, you're up.
Just one thing to update on since we presented the preliminary tax levy information at the last meeting. The county is required to notify any municipal or any governmental unit that is impacted potentially by a request for a change in assessment amounting to $100,000 or more in equalized assessed valuation or market valuation. And we received a notification from the county of 4 properties in Milan, all of them commercial properties, totaling a request to reduce their valuation by about $1.25 million. So it won't affect what revenue we receive, but it may have a little bit effect in the rate. So some of the rates we ask for a dollar amount, and some of them are at so many cents per $100 assessed valuation. The combination of that, we're at $1.51 per $100 assessed valuation a year ago. That might vary just a little bit. We won't know until that assessment process is over. Typically, that's like a February, March timeline, and then the numbers go down to the state, and then they come back for the county to generate the tax bills. But we're out of it, except that we're impacted by the outcome of those 4 appeals.
Anything
That's
else?
Is it public knowledge to know who the 4 are?
Yeah, and then I didn't look at that. I remember that one is Langman Apartments. One I think is Village Woods. And Karen, I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you.
So basically housing facilities.
They're housing. I think the other 2 were strictly businesses, commercial businesses, and not rental units.
Okay.
But it's the larger scale properties that are asking for adjustments.
If you could fill us in.
Yeah, I'll shoot it out in an email. And,
Thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions for Steve? I'll make a motion. Is there a motion to approve this administrator's report?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Rob.
Pretty typical November for the most part. I know the numbers look like they're up a little bit, but we did issue the permit for the apartments, new housing up at Pineview Apartments on the backside. So it looks a little higher, but pretty typical other than that. They did break ground up there.
Yeah, I seen that.
Got the foundations in, so that's the key part before the weather turns, and they can build through the winter. Even if the weather's, like this, or 30s, they can still build.
Right.
So those are started. All Animal Humane Society should start framing around December 15th. There's a little bit of a delay. They were trying to lay out the interior and get the underground done, the plumbing. So they finally got that done, so that should move forward now. And then we still have 3 new single-family homes that are in the various stages of completion. So hopefully within the next few months, those will be closed out. We're going to have some new occupants in Milan.
That's good. Yeah, it wasn't too bad for fee total this time too for for those codes it's been and that, but it'll get a little bit less, it goes along, we'll take anything we can get.
Yep.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Nope.
Wow. Can
Any
I
questions?
Yes, as a matter of fact, full of them tonight. Any word on if the Veterans Association has communicated to the developer at Pine?
No, he was applying for federal grants for that project, but if he didn't get those, he was gonna fund it himself. And
Okay.
I think there's a grant period, so I'm not sure that he got that grant, so he's funding it himself right now. Now, I think there'll be a partnership down the road
Okay,
with that, but as far as the federal grants for it, I don't believe he got those.
okay,
So,
thank you.
But I'll check with him when I talk to them. see if
Perfect, yeah, if you could just shoot us an update.
Yeah,
You know, something like that, we obviously want to let people know and make sure that, you know, it's out there, that the process has been started.
yeah, and that's still the intent for those units, is for veterans, but like I said, I don't think he got the federal grant that he was trying to get to do it, so I think he's using his own funds to build them.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier for later in the summer here, and when he started clearing all those trees, he spent all his money on that, plus he spent, like Rob said, he spent all his money on the construction right now too. Because he wants to get it going and get the thing going down the road. He doesn't want to wait for the grant.
Yep,
He wants to get that accomplished.
That's nice.
So, and he seems to do what he says he's gonna do.
That's
And
good.
those trees were like $20,000 he had to spend to clear out all those trees. I don't know what he's spending on the building, a lot more than that. Yeah, so, okay, anybody else have any questions for Rob? Okay, hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the inspector's report.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made second, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, department heads. Chris, I'll have you go first.
Oh, thank you. So, sorry I'm late. I was upstairs on a ever popular Zoom meeting that ran late, so. I don't really have a lot right now for the board. The one thing I do have that I will say is, 2 weeks ago now, filed my paperwork for retirement. I'm gonna retire at the end of this year. December 31st will be it. I have taken over also the interim director position at QCOM. I'm sure if anybody saw the news, it was in there. The QCOM board wanted to make a change in leadership. Through those discussions, I had brought up that I was looking at retirement anyway and looking for something new. So I've been doing that as well. And I have all the confidence in the world in the leadership we already have in place at the PD. So I'm hoping that, you know, everything continues down the right path. And we can talk about that later, but this will be potentially my last council meeting. So I want to say thank you. And that's all I got.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna be missed, but you got a good replacement coming up.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, thank you. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
Thank you.
It's not an easy job either.
No, it has its days.
Then, Chris, you're thinking that for our next meeting on the 15th, there would be the interim appointment?
I'm hoping,
For the
yes,
chief?
that would be my hope, that between now and then, make that decision and make that interim appointment effective January 1st. And then hopefully have the 5th of January with the swearing in and everything.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Jeannie,
I just have a couple things. They're gonna start next week finally on my lighting. we got approved, so that's gonna be over the next couple of weeks. We're gonna try to work with my schedule. And then, I talked to Gibby today. This would have been the week that we put the lights up at the Camden Center, but the snow kind of got in the way. So he said if it melts enough that they can get to the outlets that are in the ground, yes, they can, but
I don't know if it's
there's no
gonna melt it
guarantees
now.
until,
Cold weather for the next
and
2
then
weeks.
those lights are 40 years old probably. And they've been rewired so many times, and so we really need to look into replacement or come up with something different, so we'll see.
I see you got one, must be a light down when you first come in to
Oh, yeah,
the drive.
4 lights. They knock them out one at a time.
Oh.
We've had to cover so many of those up. They don't work, so,
Oh.
yeah.
I don't know if we talked once about replacing those or not.
Oh, yeah, it was gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
to replace those, yeah.
For what it was worth.
But, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that it was kind of fun seeing all the kids sledding this weekend.
Oh, I bet.
There were a lot of people up there.
I can't believe that many people come out, even on TV, to go out in that weather and take the kids
Oh,
out.
they did. It was crazy on.
That's funny.
It was really cool.
Anything else?
Oh, that's all I got.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve department heads' reports.
Motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion been made, second, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, consideration of semi-monthly and miscellaneous bills. Turn that over to Douglas.
The regular payables this period are $177,669.79. The top 5 bills, Strand Associates for the sewer treatment, professional services in relation to the sewage treatment update, $68,600. Blick and Blick Oil, gasoline and diesel, $21,160.39. Willett Hoffman and Associates, IEPA loan application, $17,252. Pyrotechnic fireworks for the 2025 Harvest Fest fireworks, $13,750. And Brandt Construction for the 4th Street joint ceiling, $5,066. Are there any questions about any of the others? If not, I would make a motion that we accept the semi-monthly bills in the amount of $177,669.79.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to pay the bills, and have Michelle call a roll for that, please.
Dan Schomer.
Yes.
Doug Humphrey.
Yes.
Dan Verbeck.
Yes.
Jody Lee.
Yes.
Karen Wilson.
Yes.
Jerry Motter.
Okay, like Dwayne said, we can pay the bills. Okay, number 8, consideration of a resolution for closure of the Community Business Assistance Loan Program. This is the loan program that we were given to businesses to help outside to improve their businesses. And that was, part of that was the Brisbane Foundation. And I believe what Steve said, we didn't have too much going on that.
Yeah, the background on it is that with the onset of COVID, the federal government introduced several programs. One of the earliest ones and probably most impactful for businesses was the PPP, and it was the Payroll Protection Program. But there was a period that after Congress enacted that emergency assistance, everybody recalls, the businesses were closed, people were laid off, there was no revenue stream coming in for many of the businesses, and what that payroll protection program was supposed to do was allow them to continue payroll for employees regardless of their status, whether they were working or not. And until that kicked in and the businesses that had made application, some of them, actually after the restrictions were lifted a little bit, wanted to be able to reopen, but didn't have cash flow to do starting the business back up. If you think of restaurants and things where their entire inventory was lost. So we had an interim program, and that was very successful. There were about 10 or 12 different businesses that availed themselves of the city's program. That was recapitalized in late '20 with an offer from the Brisman Foundation to put up $50,000 for a phase 2 of that, for a longer range type of assistance coming out of the pandemic. And so then council accepted that, matched it with the $50,000, and had a second phase of the program. And as the resolution says, the program was later recapitalized with a partnership between the Brisman Foundation and the village to offer expanded loan opportunities. But despite these efforts, only 3 loans were issued during the next nearly 2 years of the recapitalized program, and the program has since remained unused for several years. And of those 3 in the second phase of it, 2 were restaurant related. One of those succeeded and just recently closed down. They were headquartered out of Aledo. They had an operation there, Beaulieu's Ice Cream and Grill. And then the second was Cactus Poblano. And they went out of business first quarter of '25. I'm not sure the exact date. The third that received the loan was Milan License and Title when they moved from their location on First Avenue to across the street from us here. New owners, and they needed to be able to capitalize some equipment and some startup costs. 2 out of those 3 repaid in full. One, we only got about $2,400. All of those were, by the way, in the amount of $10,000, 1% interest for a 3-year period. One of them struggled financially, which eventually resulted in the closure of their business. And we were repaid only about $2,400 of principal out of the original $10,000. But the program is laid dormant. It required a heavy lift from businesses because there was personal guarantees by the owners of the business. And so technically, their personal finances, their home, whatever assets they had, were potentially on the line for it. And we've had absolutely no interest in our attempts to market that. And there are substantial other kinds of resources available by State Revolving Loan Fund. When we participate in that, there's a lot better loans and terms of loans in that than what we were able to offer in amounts excess of $10,000. The other is Quad City Regional Economic Development Administration or Authority, and they have a program for which local Quad City communities, the Illinois communities, can participate in helping bring a sponsorship for a variety of business loans. So our program, I think it was very beneficial in 2020 and has outlived its usefulness. This would officially close that down and return the $50,000 seed money from the Brisman Foundation so they can continue to reinvest in the village.
So you should all have a copy of Resolution 25-4, which would authorize the closure of the Community Business Assistance Loan Program. Anybody got any other questions for Steve on that? I'm surprised a lot more people didn't take advantage of it at the time, but that was unusual circumstances when that happened.
Yeah,
anyway.
And it was, at the time, it was an emergency program, and it was high risk because nobody knew what the outcome would be, how many businesses would be able to reopen. But especially, for bars and taverns and restaurants, their revenue absolutely dried up. Many of those are small businesses, and the $10,000 helped get the doors opened up again.
Keep businesses in town anyway.
Yes.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? If not, I'll obtain a motion to adopt Resolution 25-4, authorizing the closure of the Community Business Assistance Loan Program. Yeah, get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, a motion been made and second to approve adopting Resolution 25-4. I'll have Michelle call a roll call on that, please.
Doug Humphrey.
Yes.
Dan Verbeck.
Yeah.
Jody Lee.
Yes.
Karen Wilson.
Yes.
Jerry Motter.
Yes.
Dan Showman.
Yes.
Okay, number 9, consideration to extend the landfill disposal services contract with Millennium Waste Incorporated for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030. I believe this is something we do every year.
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years.
Yeah, the last renewal was a joint bid, like this one, from cities of Rock Island, Moline, and Milan, that ran from 2020 to 2025. And we've gone out for bid again, the 3 cities jointly, and Millennium Waste was the low bid on that. Rock Island has already awarded. I went online and I can't see that Moline has taken any action on it yet, but our current contract expires at the end of this year, and so this would be a 5-year renewal. Millennium Waste obviously is Quad City Landfill just down Knoxville Road. It's very advantageous for us because the truck is not off the route for very long. We're able to pull it off a hard surface road, dump, return to the route, and they're favorable. The only other one which turned into proposal was Upper Rock Island County Landfill. The haul time, first of all, their tipping rates were higher, and the haul time would just kill us. So very, very competitive rate. I passed out a one-page summary for you in the packet. On the front page of that is their pricing sheet from their response to the proposal, and they show an escalation each year, 26 through 2030, to try to keep up with their cost of inflation. But the thing to point out is there's a column called domestic refuse per ton, and I've made a note in red on up above that. It does not include $3.49 per ton tax. So when that's rolled back in, if you flip over to the back side of that, you'll see an actual comparison with what our current rates are and our current tonnage. And for our garbage or municipal waste component, we're paying right now $17.57. That would go up 98 cents starting January 1st. And that would cost us, it's about it is a 5% increase. And that would cost us only a little over $1,600 for that increase during the year. So that's manageable. The killer is for sludge from the wastewater treatment plant. And that would go from the current $13.86 per ton to $27.72. It's exactly 100%. They doubled the rate on us. And that will run about $23,000 based on what the last 12 months usage has been. But there is no viable alternative. It is currently what Rock Island, or it's right in line with what Rock Island is currently paying for their sludge waste. I would recommend, in spite of the fact that it's very, very costly increase, it is still our best option. Questions?
Well, you only got 2 places to go.
That's right.
Didn't we used to get, or we still do, didn't Millennium Waste bring waste down to the sewer plant to be processed?
They do, as a matter of fact.
That was very profitable.
It's very profitable. We make about $61,000 on them bringing their leachate. In other words, if they have groundwater that soaks into the landfill, it's not just what runs off the top, but what actually soaks down. They have a series of wells that they have to pump that water out, and it's mostly clear water. They have to, requirement from Illinois EPA, they have to take it to an approved facility, and they bring it to our wastewater treatment plant, and we make about $61,000 a year on that. So that's a good offset to this.
Yeah, I've seen that as high as $100,000 at one time.
Yeah, it's been a few dry years, but yes.
So we've only got 2 places to go, but yet we're getting a little bit of it back by being the closest one for them, so it
Correct.
saves them a bunch of money too.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Steve, was you aware of a place being set up out here by the airport?
Yeah, and it's a transfer facility. The company which proposed that was actually purchased and absorbed by even a bigger monster. And so the last that I've heard is that company is trying to evaluate what they're going to do with that proposal. You probably know a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah, no big deal. I don't think that Moline has a contract as far as garbage wise with Millennium, only on special pickups for grants.
Yeah, and that's consistent. I don't see that Moline renewed
Yeah.
on this. And,
Now, they do take their slurry or whatever you call that?
Yeah, the sludge.
Yeah, you do take that, they do take that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're holding off on the signing the contract out here at Upper Rock Island County because of that plant
Yeah.
coming out to the airport.
Yeah. And it's an interesting kind of a facility. It works a lot in large metro areas because, again, it's the time off the route that's really the killer. It adds expense, but it also kills time on the pickup. So that facility would have a under roof drop-off point. It would be compacted into large semi-loads that would be going, is it Anawan or Atkinson? Anawan?
Animal.
Yeah, to that landfill facility. It would be trucked up there by semi overnight. And then they still intend to be competitive, but they haven't opened that up.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
Now, it would be convenient for us from the standpoint of it's even closer on our routes. But the combination of the tipping fees in Anawan and the transfer facility fees, plus there's a loss of tipping fee to Rock Island County, which helps subsidize some of our recycling programs on the Rock Island County Waste Management Association. So anything that goes out of county to Henry County would be a loss of tipping fees.
So the price of, question for you, of the water and sewer bill that's going up,
Yes.
is that enough to still cover that 100% increase?
We'll have to take it into account. When you take a look at the size of the total budget, can we absorb $23,000? We have to plan for it, but yes. But I don't want to see very many things go up by 100%.
Yeah.
No, and talking to Steve earlier today, Millennium Waste got, a clean report from the EPA. So we're dealing with
Correct.
somebody who's following the rules and that. And then, of course, we all know that the EPA is probably the ones who forcing them to raise rates. Who knows? You can't consider that, but it could be many things: fuel and machinery and wages.
Yeah.
How is the sludge accounted for, Steve, as far as, does that cost go back into the enterprise fund or
Yes.
the enterprise for sewer and water?
Yes,
Or sewer.
the $61,000
Yeah.
that we get, so we charge them, they're an ongoing customer, we bill them out monthly, and it runs anywhere from about $4,500 to $6,500 a month. Again, depending on how dry it is. And so that goes right back into helping offset our expense at the water and sewer plants.
Anybody got any other questions for that? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to enter into a contract with Millennium Waste.
I make a motion that we extend the landfill disposal service contract with Millennium Waste Incorporated for the period of January 1st of 2026 through December 31st of 2030.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second. All in favor, roll call. I already had that roll down too.
Sorry, Dan Verbeck,
Yeah.
Jody Lee,
Yes.
Karen Wilson.
Yes.
Jerry Mutter.
Yes.
Dan Schomer.
Yes.
Doug Humphrey.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, next one we'll go to committee reports. Dan Verbeck.
Nothing.
Jody?
Nothing.
Karen?
Shout out to the village of Milan departments, public works, police, fire during our snowstorm.
Oh, yeah, excellent job.
Excellent job by all. Thank you. That's it.
Jerry, got anything? Dan?
So the Parks Committee did meet with Jeannie and her assistant and Sean down at Streamline, thank you. Downtown Moline, and we did, went over the other map. I think some of you might have already seen it or got it.
Yeah, I saw
A new
it.
drawing. If not, Sean's gonna send it out to all you guys' emails so you can take a look at it. I think we were pretty happy with it when we left there. So that, with the wheels in motion now, I think we're gonna set up a meeting to meet with everybody. I believe that if Jody's okay with this, Jerry's okay with this, it'd be the second Monday in January, which I believe is the 5th, no, the 12th. The 12th of January. It's on a Monday at 5:30. Would that be okay with you?
I think so.
Okay. So we're gonna set that up meeting now, just so we can keep everything rolling here. And then, one other thing that in the Parks Department is, we did meet up at Camden with, I believe the Little League is running it now with the softball. And we looked at some of the wishes and wants that that the Little League is looking at. It was a lot. It was a lot for even like Gibby to handle or anybody else. So what we did was we enlisted the help of Bush Sports, I believe it is. And he's supposed to be getting a bid. Somehow or another, that bid went to Little League. But Sean's trying to get in contact with them to get it to see what we could do to make all the improvements. I guess they got a couple of tournaments coming up there this year, on the state level for girls softball.
Potential state, yeah.
And they wanted to make it look good. So, it's not a lot, but, but there's a lot of field work that's involved. But just moving things around, I think with the help of Gibby as well, with the street department, I think we could pull it off. Other than that, I think we're okay.
Those drainage fields haven't been touched for 30 or 40 years. Yeah.
Some of the big things that we noticed was safety. I didn't realize how small the backstops were. Like there's no safety, as far as a ball goes.
Over the top.
Goes over the backstop. Somebody could get hit by it. And then the other one was like if one of the girls hit a ball straight out, it would come right out of the fence and it's aimed right at the parents that are sitting in the bleachers. So we looked at some of the safety aspect, that I know it got to be looked at. So we enlisted the help of Bush, so to help us with those. Other than that, that's all I've got.
Doug?
Nope.
Lincoln? Steve, anything else? I don't have anything else either. Okay, well, the citizens' opportunity to address the board. Chuck, you're up.
Or stand up there and just yell from here.
Your choice.
We gotta get our money's worth out of that podium, so.
Just to kind of keep people up to date a little bit, I'm actually the administrator for the Chamber of Commerce, as most of you guys know. And tomorrow we're going to be handing out a check from our fundraising for the golf outing that we had, and we're going to be giving it to the Christian Food Pantry. And another thing is that, actually, you guys know how old the Chamber is?
Steve probably would, I don't know.
It actually started in 1926. Before that, it was like Milan Businessmen's Association loosely.
100 years.
And they came up with the regular chamber, and that went on for like 4 years. But for some odd reason, it faded back out, back to Businessmen's Association. But most of the stuff got dropped from being recorded because we had the Milan Mirror or the Milan Independent. We don't have any of those archives, so there's no way for anything to be indexed. And then they popped back up in 1947 being the chamber. So I'm going to be pushing for like a centennial
you know, it's a celebration of some sort, you know. And something I've been putting a lot of time into is coming up with an exhaustive village business directory. Anything that's listed as a business in 61264. Do you guys have any idea how many businesses are like in Google Business or it's listed right now? 427. And that's including like people cutting hair out of their basement and that kind of stuff. You know, there's farmers that have LLCs and that kind of stuff. So got to eliminate a lot of that stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a digital and a print version of it, something we can hand out to anybody that's looking to anything to find out about Milan or a welcome wagon type thing to be able to give them out to. But I'm going to do it as well as everybody gets like a basic listing, which is just the business name, phone number, address, and business type. But then the chamber members get a premium version, which I'll give like a 4-line description, links to Google Maps and to the website as well. Just trying to figure out different ways to get more people to sign up, you know, to become a regular member. But it's going to be an interesting year, I think, for 2026. And since Eddie's not here, I figured I'd go on a little bit for But anyway, I just wanted to address, let everybody know, keep everybody up to date, you know, of what's happening with the chamber.
I'm watching you on Facebook, so the presence is there versus zero. So that's a good thing.
Trying to be engaging. That way I can cross-link stuff and cross-post in multiple platforms and
Nice.
trying to make it like a little bit more business-friendly. Because, I mean, in the past, the chamber's kind of just focused more on chamber members. But with my Milan page, I can actually add to that and make it all-encompassing for all Milan businesses. Because if the chamber can't go, I'll do like a great stories for the I Love Milan page as well, so I cover it both ways. But it's pretty fun stuff, though.
Chuck, did you say that the Milan Independent information, the archives of that are not available, or?
Not that I could find, because there's the Milan Mirror and there's the Milan Independent both. And, you know, so they didn't go through a major publisher, so I think they did it all just locally.
So, maybe I'm wrong, but Edna Post was the last person for the Independent, and then she went to work for the Argus.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know, one plus one might not be 2, but maybe the Argus absorbed those archives. I'm just throwing that
Well,
out.
if they did, they should be digitized. I can't find any copy of them being digital.
Okay.
And the mirror, the Milan Mirror.
Yeah, I remember that.
Used to work out of the Argus building downtown when we were kids.
Yeah.
So have like Augustana or the library.
No, I checked with them, they don't have them either. Randy Dennis actually came across an old Milan mirror when he was redoing looking at plumbing or something
Nice.
years ago. And he gave me that copy, and it was for the grand opening. The whole issue is for the grand opening of the memory drive-in.
Nice.
Yeah. It is so fragile, I don't like touching it because it's like crisp, you know,
Yeah.
so I have that, and I have one for I have an independent and a Milan mirror as well, and plus I get people from all over the United States who used to live here send me memorabilia,
Nice.
like the Mirandos. Mike Mirando comes and visits with me every once in a while, so I get old stuff that way too. I have like a nice little display case of Milan stuff.
Nice. My grandmother, Amelia Millie Wilson, wrote for the Independent as a social columnist.
Really?
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
that had to be something.
This was a swinging
That's all I
choice.
have. Give a quick report.
You got a chamber meeting coming up Wednesday, right?
Yeah. You coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Steve I'd take his place. He can sleep in Wednesday.
They're always fun.
I'll miss my breakfast, though.
Yeah.
We'll call Uber.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no one else signed up. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.